I just know that it was very like we didn't have enough. So like you didn't even bother asking, right? It's like you're at Target and you see the whole cart is full of necessities, and here you are trying to get like a little wrestling action figure, and you don't even want to ask your mom
Yeah.
because like you just know that she doesn't got it like that.
Right, 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 right.
Little things. This is the stuff that pushed me. This is like I became obsessive of like I gotta get this money right, so I can retire my mom. But little things like, mom, can I get some money to go to the movies? My friends are going to the movies. Yeah, bring me my purse. And she opens her purse and like there's like literally $6 in there, and she just gives you all six of the dollars. And then you go to the movies and like your boys, like your friends, you know, uh they're pulling out $20 bills. They got enough for like everything.
All right. Welcome to the podcast, Unstoppable Entrepreneurs. And this is definitely a dude that from the outside looking in, he looks unstoppable. His business is growing. I see him on social media. The hockey stick isn't going like this, it's going like this for this guy. And yeah, Nick Sakha, I know he's an insurance guy, but I'll let him intro what exactly he does.
Yeah. Well, bro, I appreciate you having me on. I met you at I think it was a social
Yeah.
media workshop, and you're a huge dude, and so you're kind of hard to miss. And then, but after getting to know you, I'm like, not only is he an intimidating dude, but he's a friendly, just great ball of energy, I guess you could say. And so, thanks for having me on. I'm honored to share this space with you. And
Man.
yeah, I've scaled an insurance agency over the last 8 years. I came from banking, and I sent ultimately quit banking to pursue entrepreneurship. I had no idea what that was going to look like, but I stumbled into starting a an insurance agency. It's an all-state office, which turned into three offices, and then we ended up getting a fourth in Oregon. But since then, we've consolidated all three Vegas offices into one mega office. We've done a lot through social media. I attribute a lot of our success to putting out content and having an online presence and brand. And I'm got married last year. Just had a
Congrats.
baby who's 4 months old as of today. She was conceived wedding night, which is awesome. Uh, and yeah, we got a team of 20 plus team members. We've grown our agency to 21 million in annual earned premium. I've got a lot of big goals and a lot of things left to do on my to-do list and goal list, but that's pretty much kind of me in a nutshell.
All right, so I guess you can kind of call they might feel a little fire round type stuff, but so how long have you been an entrepreneur for now?
This is eighth year. I dabbled before this insurance journey, but little network marketing businesses and forex investing.
Yeah.
But I've been a true entrepreneur for 8 years now.
Okay, cool. And like what was the turning? I think you already might have said it. What was the turning point to when you're like, hey man, I need to take this. I want financial freedom. I want to start a business. I need to start taking it serious. What was the one moment? Was it that moment where you were working for that guy and you're like, this is lead me nowhere and I'm broke?
Repeat the question again. So what was the turning point for me?
Yeah, what was the turning point? Okay, so like for me, man, so I always have wanted to be an entrepreneur, but like I was like you, I dabbled, I like flipped phones and cars and all this other stuff, but I knew I didn't want to work a job, dude. I don't like working for people. And something happened where I'm like, that's it. I'm going all in on real estate. I ain't looking back. I'm gonna be flipping houses or I'm dead. Did you have a turning point or a moment that happened where you're like, that's it. I'm going to be doing insurance and I'm all in.
Yeah, I was in banking for 7 years and I felt very underpaid. The position I was in was it was such a, to give you context, my seventh year in banking was my best year income wise, and I only made $46,000.
And what year was this? Like
This
recently?
was 2015. 2015. And so the there was really no commission structure. It was, and it was kind of like going away. Even in banking jobs now, it's like a high, they get you in at 20 to 25 bucks an hour, but there's literally like a non-existing commission structure nowadays.
Wow.
And um and so for me, I think I remember this time at the very end of Vegas on the north side. There's a street called, or you get off on Farm or Durango and El Capitan. And at the very end, I used to live there. At the very end of Durango, uh, there is like desert. And so I used to do this 5 mile run every other night or every night. And at the very end of it, it's just desert and mountains. And so I remember I was at my breaking point where I had just got my college degree and I was just frustrated because of like how broke I was. I've been, working at this bank for 7 years. I've been paying for school. I literally have nothing to show for it. At this point, I had moved back in with my mom and I had moved back in with my mom. Yeah, I was back with my mom at this point, sharing a bedroom with my little brother.
Mm,
Um, a bedroom with my baby brother.
yeah. And you're like a grown man, right? Like you're
Yeah. And so I remember at the end of this run, I'm about to graduate. I'm ready to I just know banking's not it for me. I hate corporate. I hate politics. I'm not good at politics and the climbing the corporate ladder game. I'm just authentically me, and that's not corporate enough. That's not political enough. So I'm at the end of this run, and I remember just praying and just crying transparently. I'm just like tearing up, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so ready to be a business owner. Like I just want to be a business owner. I have no idea what, but I'm ready. Like guide me, lead me, please. Like I'm so sick of this shit that I'm in right now. And I remember it. I just remember it. Like that was like a spiritual turning point for me where the rest started happening for me, where I meet with my friend Will. He convinces me to open up my insurance agency. And so that's when I think things started happening. And having, and I think that was the turning point. So that's the first thing I think about. And I think every year there's a turning point. Like in the last 8, 7 years, I'm finding a way to challenge myself. But I know that I can say with certainty that life didn't start becoming fun until 8 years ago when I started this insurance agency and I got that true freedom.
awesome, dude. Awesome. That's a that's a moment, man. You remember.
Hmm.
Um, so like, okay, so what's the most amount of money you've made in a year?
Yeah, I think it's going to be this year. I'm not, I'd have to double check. I actually do think it's going to be this year, but last year, the agency's gross revenue. Now, mind you, I like to give this like, you know,
Disclaimers.
give this disclaimer that there's so many expenses running an agency. I got my payroll bill was over 1 million. It's over well over $1 million. Well, spending well over 500,000 on internet leads, and so like there's all these expenses. So nobody likes to talk about those numbers, but last year we did a little over 2.5, and then this year I want to say between everything it's like looking like maybe 2.6 or 7-ish. I'm not 100%. I have to double check. Which is sad because it could have actually been a lot more. However, there was something uncontrollable. There's a there was a component of our bonus that was uncontrollable that has to do with something that certainly kept like, oh gosh, I don't like thinking about it because it just makes me sad, but like 300,000 or 400,000 on the table. So
And you're not in
so
control of that. It comes from Allstate or something.
yeah, it was a thing called loss ratio. And so basically what's being paid out on auto claims versus what's coming in. And so this was just one of those years where inflation was We couldn't take rates as fast as we. It was just a rough year for the insurance industry. I'll just
Okay.
keep it as simple as that. And at least auto insurance, just due to inflation, like and things just not being caught up since 2020, and the things that happened during that year. So, anyways, so kind of a long-winded answer, but certainly could have been a little over three this year, which whatever it is, what it is. I'll take
Dude,
my licks on the chin and just keep moving forward.
dude, that's awesome. $3 million, got your own insurance agency. I know you got a big overhead, but man, that's awesome, dude. Um, have you ever been broke before besides the one you told me about?
Yeah, no, certainly. I was just talking about this to my buddy today, which is I remember paying for one of my college semesters and living in an apartment with my sister. And I remember for the first time ever, like, I mean, I've been broke multiple times. Let's just say that. Sometimes I'm still broke because everything is, I'm tying my money into things, right? I'm still pretty broke relatively. Um, but I remember my bank account was like negative $600. And for the first time, like normally I had like an emergency fund or just something,
Hmm.
but for the first time it was like in the red. And I was like, bruh, I have nothing to actually make this in the positive right now. So I took a photo of it, and I wish I still had this photo, but I don't. But I was like, I'm gonna remember this. Uh, but broke college student delivering pizzas and working at a bank. Um, what else? I mean, right, even when I quit banking, again, I was there for 7 years. I probably had, I think I had $4,000 in credit card debt and like $7,000 in my savings account when I quit the bank. And so by the time I paid off that credit card balance, I think I had like a positive like $3,800 left to my name. Might have even been like less than 3,000. And I was essentially working commission only for this guy selling mobile apps. I mean, I'm going business to business, cold calling businesses. And again,
Jeez.
after 90 days and not really making any money off of that, I pivoted, and the last thing I had to my name was this 401k that I happened to contribute to um, while I was in banking. So that's, but yeah, certainly.
Gotcha, man. What would you say? What's one lesson about money that a mentor taught you that you'll never forget?
Oh, lesson about money. I'd say my buddy Will. It's not like he really taught me this, but just seeing how he was with his money certainly gave me that same aura and energy to treat money, which is just not caring so much about it. Um, what I
Not
mean by that,
caring.
not caring so much about it. So what I mean by that is he had this attitude of like a YOLO, like if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, then whatever, like we'll make it back. And for me, that was a hard mindset to adopt, being able to spend money and then trust that it was going to come back. Because as an employee, it doesn't work like it works in entrepreneurship, right? In entrepreneurship, you can spend money, you can give, and you can do all these things, and then it comes back in ways that's kind of like measurable. But as an employee, it's like, nah, bro. If we go out to Surrender nightclub tonight and I spend $120 and I'm not in a commission job, right? Like I'm going to be out $120. There's that money's not coming back. And so I think just that money, that not that lesson of stop being so attached to money is something that really served me in my entrepreneurial journey, and it still does, right? Like I'm throwing this gangster party that's going to cost me like probably like 15, maybe 20 grand next in December.
I'm coming.
And there's no guarantee that it's gonna, build partnerships and friendships with people that are gonna refer us business. There's no guarantee that that's gonna happen,
But if there's a high likelihood you
I
get a
just
return
know
on it.
I just know that I just need to throw a epic party and invite people that are crushing it and just let the rest work itself out. You know? So
You're talking about something where like, maybe new entrepreneurs would be like, what is this dude talking about? You're going to spend 15K to throw a party with people and you don't even have a guarantee of getting them back. See, that's the thought. The entrepreneur thought process is much different than the employee mindset. Um, I spend money on leads, right? I spend money on masterminds with some of the most brilliant people in the industry. Why? So I can get a return. The people that I meet, they can help me make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars with deals and other stuff. So I know I love that. I love that mindset, man. Have you ever had any money blocks growing up about not good enough or not worthy for money to come to you at all? Because did you grow up with money? It doesn't seem like you grew up with money. Did you have any money blocks that you had to get over?
yeah, certainly I would say growing up with my mom, just seeing all the times that she paid for things with her credit card at a young age, I knew she didn't have money because I knew the difference between a debit card and a credit card. And my mom has been somebody that's always, my honestly, transparently, it's just she's always kind of just been a little negative, especially with money. And so growing up, we knew that we were broke and that my dad didn't help her with money. My dad helped her like, I'll watch the kids, like give me my kids, but financially he certainly wasn't helping her. And so yeah, growing up, I think the biggest blocks per se were just that we didn't have enough. And so yeah, so I think that was a transition for me as well, because like when you're thinking negatively, I know it sounds like it's hard to like understand like the whole law of attraction part of money, but I'll just say that yeah, when you're worried about money and you're thinking negatively about money, it's like it's never going to come to you in abundance, and that was something that took me a very long time to overcome. I even have tattoos, like I have tattoos related to money. And
Oh, what
when I
are
got
they? Let me look them up. What are they? What do they say?
well, I got this I got on my arm here it says determined and there's like a money sign, you know. Um on my chest I got that what's it called? It's like a rose made out of $100 bills. And when I got these tattoos, I was so broke. You know what I mean? And now that I'm older, I look at these tats and I'm just like, I wish I could just snap my fingers and just go from having, all this ink to having no ink, right? I haven't been tatted since like I'm 35 now. I haven't gotten a tattoo since like 24,
But
you
did the
know?
tattoo help you like did it help you stay focused on the money or
No,
why do you want to get rid of it?
I
Like it sounds like it like was a motivation, was it not?
I think well, one, it's your values change, and so it changes for more it changes to more purpose and helping folks. And so my mindset on money has changed over the years for sure. But at the time, I don't know. I just think that yeah, I would say that when I got this ink or some of these pieces of ink that I was just trying to get tatted, you know? Like I think I was like,
Something
I just
cool.
want to get this sleeve, you know?
Yeah.
And so certainly I guess where I'm going with that message is that when I uh when I was focused on money, I wasn't making any.
Why? Wait, what? Oh, wow. Hold on. When you were focused on making money, it
When
wasn't.
I was Yeah, when money was the goal, I wasn't making any.
Ooh, do we have a bar here? We got a bar coming up?
When money was the goal, I wasn't making any. And once I got into business and and actually just changed it from how do I help people and how do I serve people, and then I started hiring team members, and okay, now I got to help them win. And then so that's when it started coming in abundance. And now it just, it's just an awesome thing. So, but yeah, it was
Mm.
very hard for me to get out of that employee, that broke mindset, that I couldn't attract more of it. So when you say blockings, I mean, I do think that it probably came from a young age of just my mom struggling
Yeah,
with four kids and no help,
yeah,
Section 8, all that stuff.
yeah,
So I think that was probably the biggest block.
yeah. Dude, we got a similar background. I have a single mother. Well, I didn't have a dad at all. There's no masculine men figures. There's no men figures in my family from my household, my brothers and sisters, and I had one mom raising us to my aunts and my cousins. No men whatsoever. And yeah, mom, money don't grow on trees.
Mm.
We had to eat every little piece of food that was on the plate, or
Yeah.
there'll be kids in Africa starving. I say that, I catch myself saying that to my kids today.
Mm.
Like, is that a lack mentality that I have to finish all my food? I bet you rich people don't worry about finishing all their food, but it's scarcity. So I'm gonna stop saying that just because of this conversation. But I know, but that mindset of we don't have enough. I resonate with that, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't realize how it's affecting you, but I just know that I just know that it was very, like, we didn't have enough. So like you didn't even bother asking, right? It's like you're at Target and you see the whole cart is full of necessities, and here you are trying to get like a little wrestling action figure, and you don't even want to ask your mom
Yeah.
because like you just know that she doesn't got it like that.
Right, 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 right.
Or when, little things, this is the stuff that pushed me. This is like I became obsessive of like I gotta get this money right, so I can retire my mom. But little things like, mom, can I get some money to go to the movies? My friends are going to the movies. Yeah, bring me my purse. And she opens her purse and like there's like literally $6 in there, and she just gives you all six of the dollars. Um,
Mm.
and then you go to the movies and like your boys, like your friends, you know, uh, they're pulling out $20 bills. They got enough for like everything. Matter of fact, what would happen is one of us would just sneak the rest of us in, right? Open the back door, get us all in, and then we would use, the $6 at the arcade or something like that. But I certainly remember all my buddies getting $20, and them always having more. And meanwhile, I was like scraping by. I was literally quarters, like in pennies, and like cool, like this is all my mom had. And you almost felt bad for taking what was in her purse,
Right.
um,
Yeah.
you know, at that point in time. So those are the things that I remember that both pushed me and also may have unintentionally become like uh blocks. But now, you know, now it's been a beautiful thing to be able to give back and to just help her. So
Okay, cool, dude. Well, dude, I definitely want to be respectful of your time. I know you got a little baby to go home to, but
yes, sir.
last question really I got, man, is like, so I went to your account and I knew your stuff was kind of going, there was some stuff going viral, but dude, 13 million views.
Yeah.
Did I see one that had 14, almost 14 million? I didn't even see this one. 19 million.
Something last week that 34.
I, bro, what is so you obviously have the formula, the viral formula. Is it that easy? Is it just a formula? Just is it plug and play? Does it take time? Like what? Like how are you doing this? How are you blowing up so much on Instagram?
I would say the first thing is that I put out content for a very long time, And it wasn't that long ago that I was like, the algorithm hates me. My account's probably shadow banned.
That's how I feel
And
about my YouTube
you
account.
know, I was like, maybe I talked about during 2020 and I probably talked about COVID and the vaccine too many times. Or I just had all these things that convinced me that maybe my account was shadow blocked or whatever. But we stayed consistent. We did a couple of original pieces, like um the one that put us on the map was the white people hiking versus black people hiking. We made that video, and then David Allen Greer commented on it laughing, the comedian.
Yeah, I
Then
know.
John Jones commented on it, and a whole lot of other like famous people that I probably don't even know half of them
No way. Are
started
you serious?
engaging with this video and finding it funny. And so that one video gets like 19 million, and it kind of propped up everything else. And then the I think the biggest thing is just starting with a good hook. And one thing that we did was we pissed some people off. So we played to some stereotypes. So like the whole joke of that video was that I don't really see black people hiking that often. I know black people hike, but the first one is, it's white people like, "Hi, how are ya?" Like how friendly they are on hikes and stuff, right? Like, "How's it going? You're almost there." And then the second part is it's like a bird howling. There's actually nobody, So, but what set that video off was putting a smoke alarm beep in the middle of a mountain, for absolutely no reason at all. But I noticed that through that process, people were commenting on a bunch of random things that I unintentionally did. So the first thing was the alarm beep. I added that in last. If I don't add this, if I
That's
don't add
true.
this, if I don't add the smoke alarm beep, that video doesn't do that.
Oh,
Okay.
so at the end it goes beep.
At the very end, there's a smoke alarm that goes off for absolutely no reason at all.
Yeah, I was like, this doesn't even make sense. You're not even in a house.
Yeah. So people that sent people, like people went crazy. And then and by the way, my social media, my right hand man, Randall, he's been going crazy viral. He has like 16 videos that have gone over 1 million. So he's blowing up faster than me. He's my director of marketing. And before we posted that, I said, Randall, add a smoke alarm beat. Just add it. And then that's what set it off. But hiking in Converse shoes, because we went to the gym to film one part or one video, and then we went immediately afterwards to the little mountain to film that part. So I'm wearing my gym shoes, my Converse. So people are roasting my Converse. There's people that said I look like the guy that the Ukraine president, whatever his name is.
What?
There's people commenting on that I look like the Ukraine guy. Then the bird noise that we added happens to be a bird it's called there were people commenting about it, but that's like a bird that belongs on water. And so the fact that this bird is making this noise in the middle of a desert, there were people that were acknowledging that, and we did that unintentionally. So I think the formula is having a good hook. In this case, people stayed to watch the second half because I started with white people hiking, right?
So you
So
got to see what they're going to say about black
people,
folks.
people needed to wait and see what I was gonna do. They were ready to beat my ass if you really think about it. Like what's this white boy about to say? Even though I'm not white. And so
But you look it. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
I totally look white. Yeah. So I think that there was that went super viral. Can you hear
Audio,
me?
audio just something happened with audio. You sound different.
Oh, let's see here.
Oh,
How about let's see. Can you hear me now?
yeah.
Does it sound good or sound bad?
Oh, now it sounds good.
Okay. The second video we did was uh how quickly men become friends at work, and
Yeah.
then that one does like 4 mil. And in the comments, everyone's like, haha, women never works like this. And so we're like, all right, we got to do women now. Doing women.
I've seen those
And
too.
so the men stereotype is that we get along quickly. We become homies like overnight. And then
Mm,
women, it's like they could work with each other for years and never
years.
fight.
Hate each other.
So and hate each other. So we kind of play to some stereotypes. Um, and then I think just a strong hook, and then making it to where they need to stay for the end to get a payoff. I think
Mm,
that's kind of been the formula, right? So, and we're still trying, but the video that does 34, bro, 34 mil, it's still going off right now. Stupid video. We literally did not know it was going to do what it's been doing.
yeah. Yeah.
It's a stupid video. We
Yeah.
just did a voiceover to a sound.
It's really weird because I have gone viral and I've made a lot of content too. And it's the videos that I think that are going to be awesome suck. And the ones where I'm like, I'm putting zero effort, they blow up. And I'm
Yeah,
like, what is wrong with people? What? So
yeah.
so so
It just goes to show that keep swinging.
you do a video that gives so much value and helps so much people, they don't want to see it.
Yep.
Right? So what's the formula? How do you convert this into, because it's like a comedy, it's almost like a comedy channel you would think, but there's business in it. How do you make money from it?
Yeah, so Instagram can pay you. For all that virality between that and TikTok, I'm not really monetized on there. But I heard you can make good money on TikTok, but Instagram, I became monetized. They invited me to finally do the monetization thing, and all those videos paid me, or no, just the women at work, men at work, and then and hiking video. Between those three, I probably made like 4 grand off of maybe like no, I'm sorry, maybe
What?
like five grand off of just that within like a matter of 4 months, which is
No
okay.
way. I
Uh,
thought they stopped paying people. What?
yeah, and then Instagram, or I'm sorry, YouTube. I
Yeah.
had another stupid video blow up on YouTube, which was funny. When you get comments in like Russian, it's like it's blowing up. So like
Different
it was
country.
all yeah. So but I mean that paid a good amount, which was pretty cool, like a couple thousand. Um, and then but as far as how to convert this into business for my business, the content that I make, so like I think that it's given me followers and it's given me like a social proof that makes my referral partners want to work with me. So it pays me in that respect. Um, and
Referral
then
partners. What's a referral partner?
also for us, like we work with like lenders, and lenders, when they need home insurance for their clients, it's turned into that turns into business for us,
Oh,
right?
like real estate agents and other things go, hey, this is my boy Nick, go use him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also just when you're staying consistent, the videos that go viral, believe it or not, don't turn into insurance quotes. But it's the videos that don't go as viral that can turn into like 15 insurance quotes. So it's just being consistent versus it's like just doing the volume and then reminding people about the services that you provide. That's where the money is made. Not so much in the videos that go viral, right? So yeah, that's how money is made.
Okay. And 15 quotes could equal 3, 4 sales?
Yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. Okay.
Um,
And your plan is to like, hey, we're gonna keep putting out these videos to get awareness and then filter it for business in these channels.
yeah, yep, definitely. And just to help grow our referrals within my insurance agency.
Nice, brother. Nice, man. So much to dig in there, bro. I don't even know where to start, but I'll start with this, man. Like, first I'll talk about the size thing. If y'all don't know me, I'm about like 6'5". I'm like 280 pounds, but I'm a huge teddy bear. You
Yeah.
see me in the street, say what's up, I'll give you a hug. Gotcha. Um, so man, so insurance, man. What insurance we talking about? We talking about car insurance, Geico,
Yeah.
talking about the big one, life insurance. What are we talking about?
Yeah, we mainly focus on personal lines, auto, home, life. What else? We don't do too much commercial, but I can still help. I just kind of outsource it or just send it to friends that can help. But yeah, the personal lines game, Allstate, and we're captive, meaning that I only represent one company, and yeah, that's what kind of insurance.
Okay, cool. And who's like the big player? When I think about in your industry, I think about the insurance. I think of PBD, Patrick Bet David. Is he like the guy you like in that industry right now? That's like number one?
No, it's different. So being the property and casualty world is a lot different than what Patrick Bet David was doing, and and not only from a different product perspective, but Allstate's, it's a world recognizable brand. We all know the good hands. We all know
Yep.
Mayhem. And so it's a little bit of a different ball game. It took me, I needed capital to start this business, so I cashed out this 401k that I contributed to while I was in banking. If I'm not mistaken, what PBD built was more of the direct sales, network marketing, life insurance agency. And you're starting to see a lot of those nowadays too.
Mm,
Like it started with Primerica, I think, uh, and there was a couple other ones, and I don't even know if they're still around, but no, we have a financial specialist on our team that helps the customers with that. I think that it's a little bit different in the sense that um, it's these people have been doing this for quite some time, and it's not like really like a network marketing component of it. And so,
mm,
two different industries, but PBD built a heck of a insurance agency and a media company, which
yeah,
he sold to go all in on.
yeah,
And yeah, so he's definitely goals, but it's a little bit of a different ball game. And
yeah.
they don't consider us like franchise owners per se, but we do own the business. It's pretty much Allstate on the outside and Sakha agencies all over the inside. And but we do own the assets that we can sell, which is pretty cool. And yeah,
Okay, cool, cool. So PBD is more of it's interesting, more of a network marketing life insurance combo. That's interesting.
yeah, yeah. Like back in the day, there was like Amway where you
I'm
basically
I heard of that.
everybody knows Amway, where it's like people they created or there's products that people are essentially selling, and people started doing that thing. You saw this a lot within 2020. You saw like 4X network marketing companies, and now you're seeing a lot of life insurance network marketing companies. So ain't nothing wrong with it, man. I know I've met some great dudes in that space, but they're definitely different in the sense that um, I don't know, different. So
Okay, cool, cool. So, what made you get into insurance, bro? I mean, if you want to make money, everyone needs insurance. I don't care if it's house, car, whatever. You're paying your insurance bill. Is that what? So when I think of insurance, I'm like, well, it's not the sexiest thing in the world, but you had need it. Everyone needs it. You have to have it, and it's useful, super useful.
mm, yeah, no, certainly it's everybody has to have it by law. And we sell it, essentially we sell peace of mind protection. It's a piece of paper at the end of the day, but it's actually a lot more than that. So it's nice that we don't have any inventory or anything like that. But
Right.
um, but yeah, I mean, it's required by law, so that's a cool thing. Which I think it's probably the easiest product to sell in the sense that the government says you have to have it. At least, at least the liability, right? Um, but why I got into it was when I quit banking, I was a banker for 7 years, and banking was helping me pay for my graduate degree, not graduate, undergrad degree, bachelor's in business, and it took me forever to graduate college, like 7.5 years. But I was
Why so
also in
long?
banking. Oh, I don't like debt, so I was paying as I would go. So whatever I could afford that semester is what I basically paid for, right? Um,
Wow. Most people go to debt. You're like, I'm paying cash.
Pretty much, but that sometimes that meant taking one class a semester or two classes a semester. I had this like line of credit that I used to pay for my school, um, and all the books, and I just wasn't very confident in school. I'm sorry, I wasn't very confident in school paying off and the education paying off, and so I was just in that mindset of I'm gonna finish because I want to finish what I start, but I have no confidence that this is actually going to land me a gig or give me a high income. Like, I still want to be an entrepreneur, but I kind of want to do this just to be the first person in my family to do it and
Hmm.
to just finish something that I start. So I finished, and that's why it took me so long. I also hate debt. And as soon as I finished, I quit banking. And one of my best friends, who was also in banking, he had an Allstate for a year at that point, and he just said, he invited me out to Top Golf for his sister's birthday that I had never missed one of her birthdays in like 7 years or whatever. And I told him, like, bro, I'm broke, dude. Like, I quit banking to go work with another guy, entrepreneur dude. And, I just kind of, after like 90 days of working with this guy, I was like, I think I made a mistake.
It was
I'm at my last dollar. I was promised that I was, going to be an entrepreneur, and
doing
um,
what?
at the time I quit banking to sell mobile apps to businesses. But I kind of had a lot of red flags with working with this guy.
Hmm.
And so after 90 days, my gut intuition was like, I don't know about this dude. Um, this just feels odd. Something I feel like I'm being redirected, and God, I think, used this guy to get me to quit banking. Um, and so I, after 90 days, I'm at my last dollar. So I have to tell my buddy Will that I can't make it to Top Golf because I'm broke, dude. And he's like, well, just come. I got you. And I'm like, nah, I don't feel right about that. He said, just come, bro. So we go. And then we're having a beer, and he's like, bro, I think you should cash out that you have that 401k from the bank, right? And I'm like, yeah, there's like 25,000 in it, maybe 24,000. He's like, well, it takes 25,000 to open up an all-state agency. And so first thing I tell him is, but bro, I've never like directly managed people. I've never been like official manager of people. Never owned a business. I don't even have I've never been in insurance. You sure I shouldn't go work for you for a little bit
Yeah.
and get
Good
experience?
question.
And he's like, nah, you could do this, bro. You could do this. And he said one thing. He's like, if you make it happen, it'll be your fault. If you don't make it happen, it'll be your fault. Um, and so the rest is history. That's when I cashed out this 401k, paid the taxes on it. And at the time, it took 25K to open up an Allstate office. And that's what we did. We started from scratch. And then fast forward 8 years, we're at a $21 million book of business. We have an office here in Vegas, office in Oregon, and we're licensed in Washington, Arizona, Cali, Nevada, pretty much the West. And we're one of like the top three agencies in the West. I'm trying to get to that number one spot, and it's been an awesome journey, bro. So that's pretty much kind of my story.
Congrats, man. But like, okay, so I'm a little confused on like, so how, in a nutshell, how, like, if you were to explain it in like a couple of sentences, how do you go from like what you paid the 25 G's and then what? What do you sell? Are you on the streets? Are you running ads? How do you grow? How do you know what I mean? How do the steps work?
Yeah, so you buy a lot of internet leads in insurance. That's something that I was well aware of. Like, you have to buy leads. A lot of them suck, but you've got to buy leads. and you've got to have a good sales process, and you've always got to be hiring. And so
Hiring
those
what? Hiring
people,
sell
salespeople,
to, to
to
sell insurance to.
yeah. So you've always got to be hiring. You've always got to be uh, buying leads, and a strategy that I brought that has been instrumental to helping me grow my agency has been just using social media. I documented my entire story. If you go far enough down my feeds, you're going to see the whole story being told,
Oh, cool.
where where I've used social media. I've built a personal brand. I post a lot of funny videos nowadays, um, and a couple of them have gone viral, and so it's really starting to show. But for the longest time, I only had like 5,000, 6,000, followers on Instagram. Uh, that took a while to get there. Another part of my story is I had a fitness brand. Barbells and Briefcases was our fitness brand. We had a booth at Olympia. We had a podcast, got like 60 episodes in. Um, so that was fun. But anyways, getting sidetracked there. Um, just a lot. I mean, always being hiring and reinvesting back into the business is how we've scaled. And I've also acquired a few agencies as well. So that's what's also gotten us to 21 million.
And is this a residual type business? Is that why it's so powerful? Because in my mind, I'm like, dude, people have to pay their insurance every month, or there's right? So it's repeat business, which makes it look like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's super lucrative. So you're just stacking those monthlies up, or is that how it works?
Yeah, no, they certainly a residual aspect. Um, there's a very, an awesome compensation structure with um, with my carrier, and then you can also get a percentage of the book of business in an annual bonus. And so, I mean, it's an outstanding business that's not sexy. Um, it's takes a lot of work. I'm learning that I make it, me and a few of my buddies just make it look easier than it actually is because, we've had a few of our yeah, employees that have gone out and tried to do it themselves and they're struggling and they haven't either they went out of business or so I think people tend to think it's easy, but also we probably make it look easy, but it's not. Like there's so much work that goes into this business. I'm 8 years into.
Yeah.
I'm approaching 8 years. Oh, holy cow! My 8 years is coming up in like 2 days.
No,
So
nice.
wow, I gotta acknowledge that. And so yeah,
So when people leave to do it on their own, are they like in your good graces? Are you like, hey, I'll help you? Or are they like kind of competition where you like it's kind of like not good in a good.
uh, I think it just depends on the person. I had a guy that left on bad terms, and I think he blocked me on social media and all this stuff, and then he went and tried to do it himself, and he was only in business for like 7 months. And what's sad about it was like I was willing to help. I have my whole entire YouTube channel. I built a YouTube channel that's up to like almost 15,000 subs. I think we're a little over, maybe like almost 14 right now, and it's all geared towards helping agency owners. And so like I'm willing to help. It's just some people they don't you you gotta like reach up and look and find and connect with people that are doing it at a high level. And that's something I've continued to do every single year is like who can I meet and who can I network with that's doing something way better than me in an area that will help me scale. And so, to answer your question, yeah, I think, or I'm willing to help. That's my entire channel, and I offer. I don't really focus on the coaching, but I'm mainly focused on the social media community that I built. Um, but yeah, anybody can win. It's just a matter of them.
Okay, so it sounds like, and correct me if I'm, it sounds like, hey, I got 25 G's. I want to do what you're doing. I now that I have the money to start or franchise or whatever it's called, and then you start selling yourself, or you start hiring people to sell. And so you need to have like money to pay for leads and training and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, so at the time I needed to start with 3 employees, I want to say. But now I think you need to start with 5 or 6, which is a lot easier said than done. And yeah, you need to pay for their payroll. You need to buy leads. You need to buy their seats. Like not their physical seats, but also their lead management seats, their phones. So all these different little things. And yes, certainly at first I was selling myself I was the number one salesperson for the first 6 months. And then it was time to I had two employees throughout the first 6 months, but I was able to stop being the top salesperson after about 6 months and just pouring into a team and then just slowly building this team over time, which
Okay.
easier said than done again.
Now, when people come work for you, do they get a little bit of salary? Is it 100% commission?
No, they get a base and a commission structure where it's pretty much uncapped. So that base has increased over the years. At first, it was like I was bringing people in at 18K base, and then it's gone up to 30. And nowadays, people just expect like 40, 45K bases now, right? So nowadays, it's definitely a lot more base focused. No, I lied. It's a higher base than it was at 18K, but the commission structure has to be altered, right? Because the expectation is still the same, right? So,
Oh, dude. I know. So I've hired quite a few people, and I think the you get more quality because, dude, sometimes we hire people like I got people working for me right now, 100% commission,
mm,
100%. And I've
wow.
had it to where I paid some kind of a base and salary. Um, so I think it's really strong that you guys have that base in there.
Yeah. It's the market's changing and people are expecting a base, which is kind of hard because, I think it's easier when you have commission only because you're attracting like-minded entrepreneurial spirited folks, whereas this is very much a combination of the both, like especially on a service team. Service team is expecting a little bit more hourly and base, um, and clearly the upside. It takes a certain kind of person to be able to make those higher amounts. So, yep,
Cool, man. Awesome, brother. Well, dude, this was great, man. Thanks for coming on. Anything else you wanna say?
yeah. No, I mean, if anybody wants to, you can see the goofy and funny and hilarious content that we post. You just follow me at Nick Sakha on Facebook. I'm Nicholas Sakha, and TikTok it's Nick Sakha. So either whether it's Nick Sakha or Nicholas Sakha, that's how you can find me. Love to connect and hopefully make people laugh and inspire them.
Cool, man. All right, that's it for this episode. Thanks, brother. I'll see you.